So before we get to the main point of this video, there's something else I want to talk about first real quick. And that is a possible schedule for the channel. In other words, some actual consistency. A rarity indeed. So I have this idea of experimenting by uploading every single Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until the end of the year. So, in other words, I want you to know when the fuck I'm actually gonna upload something. Now, there's no guarantee that this schedule is gonna stick. Again, it's just an experiment. But if it does, then expect me to go from uploading every single week to instead uploading every other Friday. So, in other words, every 2 weeks. But that's all I wanted to say about that. Let's get to the actual point of this video. Ooh, there are some things I fucking hate about gaming. So, for a while now, there's been some things I've really been wanting to get off my chest, and finally, I have the opportunity to do so. So, we're gonna divide this video into 3 different segments. For starters, the gaming community, that one thing I have yet to actually talk about out of all the gaming videos I've done, but will finally shit on in this video. Secondly, the gaming industry, that one thing I can never seem to shut the fuck up about. And thirdly, and finally, the cherry on top of it all, gaming journalism. Oh, I want to die already. But with that being said, let's get into it. So we're going to divide this segment of the video into 2 different parts. First off, the gaming fanboys, and secondly, the general gaming community, aka gaming normies. There's a lot of shit I really want to vent about, because you fanboys really need to learn when to shut the fuck up. Like, none of you are superior to one another. You're all equally retarded, and that's pretty much a fact at this point. I mean, let's be real here. All you're doing is literally defending a piece of plastic that you favor over another. That pretty much does the exact same shit. And I mean this specifically towards the console fanboys, but I have plenty of shit to say about the PC fanboys too, don't you worry. You're all getting some shit on ya. Like, for starters, you have these Xbox fanboys that care so much about this superior console that's so powerful and does 4K gaming when it can't even do native 4K gaming half the fucking time. And you act as if you're so superior to the PlayStation 4 fanboys when, at least unlike you faggots, they actually have games to show off. What games do you have to show off on your system? Ooh, we have fucking Lucky Star. Yeah, what a fucking amazing title. Yes, please, show me those indie titles in 4K resolution. You know, that one thing that's probably not gonna even matter to you in a month's time. You know, because 1080p and 60 FPS is kind of more important, since 60 FPS is always more important than 30 FPS. Seriously. Let's stick to 60 FPS, alright? It's clearly superior. Once you experience that over 30 FPS, you kind of can't go back. And anyone who argues the human eye can only see up to 24 frames per second or whatever it is, shut the fuck up, because you're factually wrong. Anyways, let's move on to the PlayStation fanboys. Yeah, you have all these great looking games. I'll admit it, a lot of these games I'm looking forward to, but out of all these games, how many of them do you actually think are gonna be good? Because out of all of them, at least one is gonna be a rotten apple. Let's take Days Gone, for example. As far as I'm concerned, that's another fucking zombie game. Like, there's nothing impressive about that. Yeah, you can see a lot of zombies on screen. I saw that shit in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 8 to 9 years ago. Cool. Come on, show me something I actually give a fuck about. You know, something else like God of War or Spider-Man 2018. You know, games that actually look like something to give a fuck about. And going even further into that, even games like those that look great, you don't know they're gonna be good. Again, I am looking forward to a lot of these games, but how many of those games are actually gonna blow you away or impress you? For now, they may, but who knows down the line? And besides, some of these games like Death Stranding aren't even near releasing, so until we actually get a release date of some kind, there's no point in caring. Now, once again, I'm not saying these games are gonna be bad. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that they may be bad. But you never know. But again, don't get your hopes up, because the higher your expectations are for something, the more disappointed you turn out in the long run. Trust me, I've been there plenty of times. I'll never forget the days of 2014. That was truly a dark age for gaming. Well, aside from the gaming crash back in, 1983. But let's forget that ever happened. But anyways, let's move on to the PC crowd. That one group of elitist cunts who can never shut the fuck up about how much they love Nvidia or AMD. I love Nvidia. I love AMD. I love Nvidia. I love AMD. Yeah, we get it, you love them. Shut the fuck up. No one gives a shit. Like, seriously, you guys act like such better gamers in every single way when you have plenty of shit that's worth criticizing. For one, you act as if you have all these amazing, mind-blowing exclusives that you can't get on some shitty peasant console, or are shitty indie titles that are literally shat onto the platform. Just shit out all these games that you just need to spend $100 for in order to actually put onto the platform. And also, can we talk about Steam support for a moment? Yeah, I get it. Gabe said that they were gonna work on improving it, but that was nearly a fucking year ago. How much more has Steam support actually improved since then? Probably not that much. Yeah, maybe it's improved a minuscule, but that's really it. It's still fucking garbage, and there's no way of denying that. Steam is not perfect. It has plenty of issues. Stop acting like it's fucking perfect. Besides, you know that when Origin, that online service that's from EA that's on PC, has better customer support than Steam, then there's a problem that you should probably fix. As for GOG and Uplay, GOG? I don't fucking know. It needs more games. That's it. Uplay, on the other hand? It's just there. It just exists. It's essentially bloatware. Let's be realistic here. It serves no purpose to anyone. It's pretty much just drifting about in outer space, just wondering when someone's gonna, find some use for it, but that's really it. Like, come on, Ubisoft. I'm sure you can do better than that. Like, really? Come on. We know you can do better than that. You probably can't. And then you have all these other online PC-only services like Battle.net, which, for the most part, just take up a lot of fucking space, and that's really it. And let's not forget fucking DRM, that thing that just plagues everything it touches, and gets cracked within a day because of the pirates, which kind of defeats the purpose of having DRM in the first place, but, publisher logic. Like, guys, you realize that when a PC gamer pirates a game, they're usually only doing it as a way to actually have a free demo of the game? That thing that's kind of no longer in existence and has been disguised as betas in modern day gaming. And then usually, if the PC gamer actually likes it, they go ahead and buy it since, they feel it's actually worth the purchase. I know, it's hard to believe, but that is a thing. As for the Nintendo Switch, there isn't that much I can criticize it for aside from the fact that Nintendo is very fucking behind when it comes to something as simple as a party system, and considering you have to pay $20 for the online part of it all, I kind of don't have that much hope. But of course, the one thing they do know how to do correctly is DLC with fucking amiibos. Yeah, good job, Nintendo. You understand how to implement DLC without an issue, but you don't understand how to implement a fucking headset. Do you not understand that plugging a headset right into the controller or the console itself is something that's common? Like, fucking priorities? Hello? As for handhelds, out of the big three, Nintendo's the only one who actually understands how to do them properly and knows how to fucking market them properly, unlike the PlayStation Vita, which lacked games. And to this day, I'll never understand why Nintendo was always so good at marketing the 3DS, but not the Wii U at all. Even if their lives depended on it, they wouldn't have been able to market the Wii U properly. And then finally, you have mobile gaming. Scares me to think about. That fucking cesspool of cancer that's made for the sake of stealing money from consumers that are very ignorant towards what actually goes on in the gaming industry. Yeah, the gaming normies, aka the casual gamers. The sheep that buy literally anything that looks popular for the sake of buying it because it looks popular. Not because they've done research in what the quality is about that game, but because it looks popular because that's what all their friends are playing.
Hey guys, the new Call of Duty game's out. Let's go buy it. Hey guys, the new Madden game's come out. Let's go buy it.
Guys, can't you do some research on shit before you buy it? So you don't buy some shit that you may have ended up regretting in no time? Don't you want to think about the shit that you're purchasing? Oh, of course you don't. Because you don't want to think about anything. You just do shit for the sake of,
it's my money, I can do as I please.
Yeah, I get that. It's your money. But just because you can spend money on something doesn't mean you should. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. It's common sense. Why is this hard to understand? Why are people so stupid? And dumbasses like these are pretty much the reason as to why shit like loot crates have completely infested the fucking AAA gaming industry. Speaking of that, let's talk about it. Yes, I'm aware. The shit I'm about to talk about in this next segment has already been talked about 1,000 times before, but regardless, it's still relevant as fuck, so I'm keeping all this in. Now, like I've said previously, I've talked about the gaming industry and its bullshit practices plenty of times now, but the one thing I have yet to actually delve into are loot crates. By far the biggest cancer in gaming at the moment. And the one thing I've noticed about microtransactions and loot crates is that it's pretty much an ongoing pattern.
You don't have to buy these cosmetic-only microtransactions that you can spend $2 on. You don't have to spend $2 on these weapons that you can directly buy, which is pay to win. You don't have to buy these cosmetic-only loot crates. You don't have to buy these loot crates that directly affect game progression. Like, come on guys, it's optional.
It doesn't matter if it's optional. It's fucking shit no matter how you look at it. No matter how much you polish a turd, it's a fucking turd regardless. And if you keep using the excuse of it's optional, then it's only gonna get worse and worse and worse. It's only a matter of time before you can start pre-ordering loot boxes. I won't be surprised if it happens. I will not put the industry past that. And what's even worse is when these normies use the excuse of,
Well, I don't have the time to play, so I might as well pay.
you do realize the only reason the game is so fucking grindy and takes so long to get through, causing you to want to spend money on it, because it was artificially slowed down in terms of progress, in order to make you want to spend money, right? If shit like this didn't exist, then you'd be able to play the game at a regular pace, even with how busy you are. And considering you keep spending money on this shit, it's only gonna keep happening, so you're at fault completely. So you're only to blame. And because of that, you are 100% the problem. And considering how supply and demand works, as long as people keep buying, they're gonna keep selling. Hey, you only have the gaming community to blame, or more specifically, these fucking casual fucks who don't actually know how to think about shit before buying anything. Honestly, it's depressing. It really is fucking depressing.
But Crude, companies have to make money somehow.
Yes, I get that. No shit. But you realize that there's a difference between needing to make money and being flat out greedy, right? Greed destroys everything it touches, and it's definitely gonna destroy the gaming industry in some form or another. And last I checked, using a patent as a way to put supply drops into your game legally, yeah, that's not needing to make money, that's being flat out fucking greedy. Why is it so hard to understand the difference between needing to make money and being greedy? Come on now. With how much money EA and Activision make from loot boxes, do you really think that they're in dire need of money? Do you really think they're in dire straits and desire our money because they don't have enough?
They're just innocent publishers that we need to be grateful for because they give us games that we love so much.
Nah, shut the fuck up. These games that they're destroying with this fucking greed, they would be better off with any other publisher. On second thought, no they wouldn't. Have them be independent, they would be in a much better position. I'm looking at you, Respawn Entertainment. You're repeating your mistakes. You fucking made a deal with the devil, and you have what's coming to you. Honestly, you publishers need to start worrying more about long-term investment than short-term investment, because that's what's gonna make the most money over time. Also, can we stop with fucking annual franchises? People get sick of shit real quickly. Look at Assassin's Creed, that shit stopped being annual, so why can't COD? But with that being said, let's move on to gaming journalism. Honestly, what is there to say? Gaming journalism, just like any other form of journalism in modern day society, is a fucking joke. Gaming journalism is a fucking dumpster fire, full of these SJW cunts who can't get their heads out of their asses. When are you going to realize that not every single game needs to have all this diversity bullshit?
Every game needs to show that women are strong and are just as independent, as powerful as men.
No, shut the fuck up. And also, no, not every single game needs to appeal to every single person with difficulty settings. If the game is meant to be hard, let it be hard. Stop trying to have everything appeal to everyone. Not everything is meant for everyone. When are you going to get that through your thick fucking skulls? It's called artistic freedom for a reason. When you attempt to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. If something is meant to appeal to a certain demographic, let it appeal to that demographic. Why is that so hard to understand? Stop worrying about your feelings being hurt and just realize the facts. Oh no, your feelings were hurt. Shut the fuck up and get over it, you cunts. Nobody gives a fuck. Go fuck off. Fucking gaming journalism, man. Fucking travesty. Seriously. Oh, well, that was certainly something, eh? But that's all I wanted to get off my chest. You probably didn't enjoy this video, but if you did, then subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the second channel, which may also follow this idea, this experiment of a certain schedule. I'm not sure, but hey, you know what to do if you like a channel. Notifications, subscriptions again, you know, all that shit. But that's all I had to say, and I'll see you next time. Peace.